What do those poor old people, like, how do they stand a chance? What chance do they have of not being fooled by every other phone call and every other video that they see? Add
Are people
fucking
bad?
AI into the mix now.
Well,
Like,
here we go.
so
So
hold
now
on a
we've
sec.
got AI fraud.
So hold on a sec. So
Tell
you
me.
go back a few years, okay? And
Okay.
you had guys who would, all they had to do was go down a couple of streets, knock on the doors with a clipboard, and sell a bunch of people whatever, HVAC or whatever. We're going to come back. Here's the estimate. Give us a deposit. Thank you. Have a nice day. We'll be back in 3 days. And they'd go down the
Yeah.
line and they do this to, like, I don't know, everybody they could, and they'd
Mhm.
fucking disappear. And these guys made careers of it because guess who the target audience was, right? These poor old people with money in their fucking RSPs, right? Or lines of
Yeah.
credits or who knows what. And so now, if you see the stuff that's coming out like so easily online right now, it's insane what they can do. The level of fraud that we have seen, we're just scratching the surface here. Okay, we're just starting to learn what it's like to commit fraud because these. Did you hear? There's like reports of some of these AI systems that were like trying to fool their creators into not turning them off, like doing some pretty crazy stuff and lying to people about it, like full out lying. So when these AIs, can already fool even not old senile people, like just your typical person who's kind of even interested in tech, like what do those poor old people, like, how do they stand a chance? What chance do they have of not being fooled by every other phone call and every other video that they see?
Mhm.
Right? Like the bank could just call them. Hi, Mrs. Butler. How are you today? Right? And it's like, they don't know that the guy is not real. They don't know that it's just a computer. We
Mhm.
noticed that your account needed, blah, 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 blah. And, press right here. We're call whatever the fuck they do. People send $500 for the dumbest shit ever, right? Like, Mom, I'm in Jamaica and I can't get out, right?
And AI can deep fake their kid's voice.
Yeah, in two
This is what it
seconds,
is
right?
now.
Two
And
seconds.
AI, you ever get those numbers where somebody calls you, you call them back, and you're like, hey, I just received a call from this number. And they're like, no, you didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they can fake the number that they're calling from.
Oh, yeah.
So when you
No,
call back that number, it's not even the person who actually called you. If you had picked up, it would have been the guy on the phone in some other country telling you some other story,
right.
right?
Yeah. And so I heard this report about I forget what country. I forget who or what company, but I think it was CIBC. It was either RBC or CIBC that they fired a bunch of staff and they're outsourcing the call center to like South America. And I'm like, what's the fucking point of going to South America? Like maybe for 3 months until they figure out this AI thing. Because the AI phone calls are insane. And the situations that you can train them to deal with, like, are unlimited, right? It's insane what you can pack into this thing. So depending on how specialized a service is, it's a no-brainer. And then fraud and porn and God knows what. These machines are going to be able to suck the life
Hold on,
savings out
hold on,
of.
hold on. Okay, so fraud, just I want to connect all those things.
Okay.
Fraud,
Yeah.
so as in what we're talking about right now.
All kinds of
And
different
then you said
frauds.
porn.
Porn, sure. I mean,
So,
imagine these fake, real looking women and
so it's
these
going to put
poor.
real porn actors out of business.
Well, not only that, it'll
Yeah.
rob these poor young and old idiots out of their money because they'll be able to control this perfectly generated, perfect version of perfection for them,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
These poor kids are going to be stuck in their little dog crate con. What do we call them? What
Uh,
was the new name for them that we came up with yesterday?
vertical cell
No,
blocks.
ROI
ROI LOL
LOL or
exclamation
something.
mark
Yeah.
LOL. I don't know. But
Nobody knows what we're talking
I
about.
don't think it's the kids who are spending all the money on porn. I'm pretty sure that would be
No, but it'd
a
be
more mature
no, but
adult
imagine
type
you're
of
a
thing.
kid and you get
Yeah.
stuck in that, like at the age that we started looking at that kind of stuff. They're
Yeah.
fucked now.
But it was
Okay.
like a magazine back then. It was like
Yeah.
a,
You have to
a
go through a
catalog for, you
humiliation
know,
ritual at Max
panties
Milk,
and underwear from
right? Or
Sears or something.
7-Eleven. But
Yeah.
you have to go get embarrassed, buy the damn thing, and then go figure out what to do with it. Now it's like the level of reality and
All right.
control is
Back to the topic.
insane. But
Yeah.
imagine you combine all of that together, okay?
Okay.
What kind of money you can extract from people? It's insane.
Okay.
It's
So
insane.
now
Like,
fraud side of this, right? Because that's our topic for today, right?
well, imagine
In
you
the
could
AI
say,
sense,
Chat
think about it.
GPT, make me a pay stub for the last 6 years from this company. Okay.
Yeah.
Set up a voice over IP with a chat bot that answers the phone. Make my
Yes.
resume, make my bank account statements that reflect all this income and all these expenses. Like you
Yes.
can literally program it to do all of that
Make a
in
website
a
that
minute.
shows my information as this, my company's address is this, my boss's
Everything.
address is that, all that.
20 minutes.
Create, whatever it is. And there's a printer because a lot of this when it comes to money, right? So you got to get the money. Anytime you're doing fraud, there's two sides of this. One, there's the actual transaction side, but the second side is the banking side. You need to be able to get the money out of the account. And the lawyer, right, which is there to detect fraud, basically, they're going to cut a check to the person's name. That name has to be on a bank account somewhere, and they have to be able to go and cash that check, which means they also need to go to the bank. And what they're doing is they're using a machine to print government ID. They can print any government ID that they want, right? And so now I show up with an ID that says Darryl Frankfort on it with your address and all your information, but my face. And then I say, I'm here to collect the check for Mr. Frankfort. Great. I'm here to deposit a check into my account. Great, which I've started that you don't know about. I'm here to transfer my money, my funds from that account into this account, right?
Yeah. Look,
These are
there's a
all,
there's a realtor, like an AI realtor somewhere in South America or Brazil, sold I don't know, 10 million, 100 million, some crazy number of real estate, like an AI, like just a
mhm,
chatbot selling that much real estate.
mhm.
How, like I don't know how they're going to figure out how to stop that kind of stuff, but maybe you don't even want to stop it. I would love to have a chat bot that could go out there and raise me funds, right?
Yeah.
For this building.
But
Come,
won't it just be eventually my chatbot speaking to your chatbot?
yeah. Yeah.
Like,
This
won't
is
it
the
just
whole
be
thing right
eventually,
now.
won't it eventually just be like, all right, you answer the phone for me, chatbot, and
Yeah.
then
Everything.
like, you know,
No,
filter out,
they're
filter out. And if you think it's another chatbot, you know what I mean?
they're talking right
Tell them where
now.
to go.
Like the
Yeah,
internet is changing. The internet
yeah,
won't be the internet because now it's not the people going on to the websites. It's
yeah.
the chat GPT searching the website and bringing all
To
the
get
information back to
simplifying
you
it.
in
Yeah.
a way that, makes more sense.
Why would I waste my time looking for, what's the best restaurant for me to go to on a Saturday night that
Right.
serves, beef skewers
Right. So if
when
you
I could
want
just add
to,
chat GPT and
well,
say, hey,
that,
based on my location, where I am right now and what my typical, palate is like, where should I go and get some shish kebabs?
right.
Yeah.
And so now the focus is shifting from like the website needs to be good for the bots to read them and bring back the right info, not
It's just
to
going to
be
be binary
appealing,
code.
but not to be appealing to you and me because we're
Yeah.
never going to go on the website. We're going to
We'll
say,
never make it to page
right,
87,000, but they
like
will.
Chat
Yeah.
GPT, book me a flight on whatever and find me the nicest restaurant that goes with, everything you know about me and will make my wife happy and I won't have
Yeah.
to hear about it. Right.
Yeah.
And Chat GPT will go fucking do that perfectly.
Not
Right.
yet. Not yet.
Not
Not
today,
yet. The
but
stuff
like,
that I'm getting recommended a lot of the times is wrong. There's misinformation, all sorts of crap.
but the
But that's
stuff
okay.
but the stuff
That's
that
okay.
it is good at, it is
Yeah.
unbelievable at. And I honestly, I would
Yeah.
easily have at least one other person working for me right now if I didn't have ChatGPT, because the amount of stuff I do on there that it
Yeah.
is very capable of doing, and not like I use the first thing that it pumps out. Like it takes a lot of back and forth, but it's like
Of
I don't
course.
have an employee. I pay this thing $20 a month or $30 a month, whatever it is, and it produces stuff for me that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Legal stuff
Agreed.
and
Agreed.
like
Agreed.
like deal stuff, strategic stuff, all kinds of stuff, right? And
Yeah.
then content ideas and content creation and all that stuff. But like it's gonna get better. and it's getting better, and it's
Yeah.
fucking scary and exciting all at the same time.